Italian Wine Podcast. Cin Cin with Italian wine people.
Swirl, sniff, sniff, sip, sip, and spit. Once again, here we go. Swirl, sniff, sip, spit. While you drink, don't forget these tasting tips.
Welcome to this special edition where we talk wines and the Giro d'Italia. We held an exceptional clubhouse room dedicated to Giro d'Italia. We thought about sharing some notes about the stages of the Giro, written and read by Marc, Millon, a food, wine, and travel writer, and the author of numerous books as well as magazine articles published on both sides of the Atlantic. There will be more special episodes to come. Stay tuned!
Swirl, sniff, sniff, sip, sip, and spit. Once again, here we go. Swirl, sniff, sip, spit. While you drink, don't forget these tasting tips.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Stevie Kim and welcome to another love story in Verona. Giro d'Italia meets Italian wine with Marc, Millon, and Luca Pizzigella today, a special guest. This room is being hosted by the Italian Wine Club. If you've not joined the club yet, please do so that you can be alerted to the next rooms. Hosted by me, but also other members as well. I don't really see many newbies. Actually, there are a few of us today, but for the newbies, you can do that simply by tapping on the greenhouse icon next to Italian wine on top left-hand corner. This is an extra room. I usually run a weekly room on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central European Time. In fact, this week we spoke about celebrity wines with Marco Fantinel, who produces wine for Mary J. Blige, and Steve Ray, who's been working on Sarah Jessica Parker's wine. Robert Joseph also joined as part of panelist, and then things got interesting real quick once another Robert Camuta, joined in the discussion with a completely opposing view on the topic in question. If you've missed this, I believe Italian Wine Podcast just dropped the recording this morning, so check it out. That's Italian Wine Podcast, where you can find the past episodes for the lovely recount from our special and now what has become our favorite correspondent, if you will, Marc Millon's Giro d'Italia coverage, tappa per tappa. So we've been absolutely mesmerized by his daily report and literally following his journey. Most of us are completely hooked. Speaking of Italian Wine Podcast, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to our producers, Joy and Marc, and the entire team for all the extra hours they've been putting in lately. So if you can give them a follow, make them feel the love, leave a thumbs up on Apple Podcast, Spotify, SoundCloud, or whatever, wherever you listen to your podcast, even better. Also, Laika, I'd like to give out a shout out to Laika. I don't know if she's here with us today. She's been a real trooper with all the crazies behind the clubhouse backstage. So hope she doesn't quit on me, because that's usually what happens. But as usual, I'd like to remind the speakers that this room will be indeed recorded and replayed on the Italian Wine Podcast, if all goes well, because last call with Marc, we forgot to actually record it, We do this for all those who cannot participate on this call, like Cynthia. She sent in a special request. Should any one of the speakers who come onto the stage and not want to be recorded, please let me know soon as by sending me a DM via Insta, and we'll take care of that, which is, by the way, on my profile bio. Lastly, I know the Clubhouse audience has been underattended in general. But to be quite honest, I'm less concerned about the room size as much as how we can share and bring value to the conversation. So I personally think that Clubhouse gives us an opportunity to connect in a different way and gather insights about what is important to the audience and the community. Besides, I've met some fabulous people here, both from the wine trade and non-wine people. So it is indeed about you, and thank you for joining us here on Clubhouse on this lovely Saturday and listening to us also on Italian Wine Podcast, because it is really a labor of love. In line with this, if you'd like us to broach in the next weeks some special areas of interest to you, please DM me, whether it's Italian wine or wine business, with your ideas. Great. I'll shut up now. So let's start with our panelists and then open to the audience for Q&A. Hi, Marc. Ciao, Marc.
Ciao, Stevie. Ciao, Luca.
How are
really,
you?
Really nice to be here today. I'm really well.
Can you hear me okay today?
I can hear you. Can you hear me today?
Yep. Great. Listen, so just for the audience, I had met Marc what seems like a lifetime ago. I don't know about you, Marc, but in reality, I've met you just 2 weeks ago. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So Marc considers himself, in his own words, a words guy, and writes books about wine, food, and travel. And that was before I had actually Googled him. I hadn't even Googled him. He actually wrote 25 books in wine, food, and travel. But I had discovered that he was planning to write up a skinny recap of each day's tappa. So that is interesting and understandable to non-cyclists. And then he links, the wonderful thing about Marc's recap is that then he makes a direct link to the places, the cities, the wines, of course, which we have a special interest in that, food, and also history. So when we ran a room exactly 2 weeks ago, we forgot to record it. So karma has it that we started recording his reports, and it's absolutely mesmerizing and fantastic. He has kind of a fan club already with this series that he's doing. So as I'd like to maybe have the audience get a sample of your daily report, Marc, would you mind giving us a taste by kind of reading one, maybe one from the Tappa to Verona from yesterday? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm getting a bit of a poor connection, so I hope you'll not lose me. It's really been fun doing this, Stevie, and I really appreciate the interest you've shown in it, because to me, the Giro is such a special event, and it's such an obvious thing to link it to history and culture, and above all wine, because I'm also refreshing myself with wines of all over Italy through following the journey. So that's sort of why I'm enjoying doing this. So let me just let you I'll just read what I wrote this morning for yesterday's stage, and in anticipation of the stage that is just finished, a mighty stage.
Yes, great. Thank you.
So, stage 14, Cittadella to Monte Zoncolan, 205 kilometers. Hope. It's what drives us all on. It's what makes us get up in the morning. Hope is what gets professional cyclists out of bed in the dead of winter to put in the hard kilometers, to prepare themselves even just to be able to take part in a grand tour like the Giro d'Italia. It's what makes them keep riding every day over 3 weeks, when every muscle, sinew, and bone in their body must be aching and in utter agony. Yesterday's route from Ravenna to Verona, passing through Ferrara and Mantua in homage to Dante Alighieri, was a day for most riders just to recuperate and try to recover before the arduous days in the mountains. It could not have been flatter or straighter. It was a day when there was absolutely no hope for a breakaway, a small group of riders to try to get ahead and hold out to the finish. And yet, a trio led by the indefatigable Simon Pelot, who is proving to be this year's most combative rider, tried all the same. Even when the full might of the peloton was bearing down on them in the final 5 kilometers, when it was clearly hopeless to hang out any longer, they still made a final acceleration to try and prolong their moment in the sun for just a little longer. Why? What drove them on when there was absolutely no point whatsoever? Why did they expend precious energy and fatigue their already aching muscles when there was absolutely no benefit to be gained? It seems that hope becomes a habit, a state of mind, so they just drove themselves on, hopefully. Giacomo Nizzolo, the Italian and European champion, knows about hope as much as anyone. One of the most popular riders in the peloton, he is an immensely talented sprinter who has so far been unable to win a stage in his home Grand Tour, finishing second on countless disappointing occasions. What must have gone through his mind then, at the very end of the stage, when, having been delivered to the final 2 kilometers in perfect position by his hard-working Kubeka Assos team, he saw Edoardo Affini of Jumbo Visma accelerate at such an astonishing pace for a final dash to glory along the straight Corso Porta Nuova of Verona. It was an audacious move, and Affini was powerful enough to open up a sizable gap that looked almost hopeless to reel in. Did Nizzolo at that moment think that he might have to settle for another second? No, he believed in himself because he had hope in his heart. Gradually, then more quickly, almost superhumanly, he pounded after his countryman, got onto his back wheel, slipstreamed for just a moment, then powered past him, arms aloft, as he crossed the line in immense relief to take his first stage win in the Giro D'Italia. Today, we enter a new phase of this 3-week Grand Tour. The start line might as well have a banner written above it. Lasciate ogni speranza, voi che entrate. The phrase carved over the portal when Dante's protagonist and his guide, the poet Virgil, begin their descent into hell. If their journey took them down into the deepest bowels of the earth to discover the terrifying circles of Inferno, our journey goes ever upwards. 5 of the next 8 stages will take the cyclist to some of the highest and most inhospitable mountaintop summits in all of Italy. Dante's words might as well be chalked on the high mountain roads alongside the famous names of cyclists, past and present. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Mountains are for many of us what the Giro D'Italia is all about. Mountains will decide the victor. Mountains will crush the losers. In the mountains, a rider on a bad day can lose 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes or more on general classification. This in a race whose outcome is often decided by mere seconds. There will be courageous and repeated attacks on the Maglia Rosa. The riders will have to dig their deepest. Teams will have to be at their strongest in support, and many will lose the will to live, might abandon all hope. This is where we will get to know those riders who are great of heart, those riders who never lose hope, even when everything around them seems hopeless. So then, a fatiguingly long day with 2 major climbs, including one of the steepest and most shockingly fearsome of all, Monte Zoncolan, located in the Carnic Alps of Friuli Venezia Giulia. The climb is a leg-numbing 14 kilometers, and it is steep all the way up. I drove up the road to just below the summit of Monte Zoncolan 2 summers ago to seek out the Malga Pozov in search of mountain cheese. Every summer, the Gortani family undertake the Transumanza, walking their herd of cattle up old mountain tracks to this remote summit outpost where they can live and enjoy the fresh and ethereal mountain air. The cows graze happily on the fragrant grass of the high alpeggio, and the Gortanis milk them to make a range of mountain cheeses. My imagined plan today, then, is to position myself somewhere just below the Malga on my virtual armchair the cyclists, maybe somewhere around where the road rears to a leg-numbing 27% incline. There they will be going through their own private hell and moving slowly enough to look in their eyes to see who still has hope or who has abandoned it. Us armchair cyclists like nothing more than to see someone else suffering. We've all been there ourselves. It is far too high up here for vineyards, so I'll take a bottle in my backpack to enjoy with a hunk of the Malga's fragrant mountain cheese. But what bottle? The vineyards on the foothills leading up to the high mountains, as well as on the plain and on the limestone plateau of the Carso, collectively make up one of Italy's most exciting wine regions, Friuli Venezia Giulia, source of both outstanding whites as well as great reds. I'm tempted to stash a bottle of Isonzo Cabernet in my backpack. In World War I, no less than 11 battles took place along the Isonzo front, Italy's bloody battlefield against the Austrians. It would be an apt choice, for there are still many battles to come in this year's Giro d'Italia. Friuli suffered in World War II as well, and in centuries of skirmishes and battles before then, a tragic history. Much as I enjoy and relish the combat on the road, I'm going to go with a wine that instead of conflict and competition seeks harmony and brotherhood. Vino della Pace from the Cantina Produttore di Cormons. When this cave cooperative was formed after the war, the wine growers decided to commemorate peace by planting the Vigna del Mondo with vines brought in from every wine-growing continent on earth. Today, the Vigna del Mondo comprises more than 800 different grape varieties. Every year, they are harvested and vinified to make the Vino della Pace, a bottle of which is sent to every civil and religious head of state in the world. It is a symbolic wine, certainly, but it is also a wine to drink, gently sweet, soft, not in the least aggressive or bellicose. Surely, even in the midst of a combative stage race, such as the Giro d'Italia, there is time to take a moment to enjoy this wine of peace, perhaps sampled with a slice of gubana, a snail-shaped pastry filled with nuts and candied fruit and raisins soaked in grappa. The Vino della Pace is a unique wine of human solidarity and brotherhood. In this year, more than ever, we all need to take a deep breath, drink deeply, and hold on to our hope.
I know, like my kids say when I do shit like that, they say it's cringy. But Marc, thank you so much for doing that. I mean, that was absolutely fantastic. Now I think people know why we love your daily report. I hope you take a breather. So let me get to Luca now. I'll let you rest just a little bit. We have Luca with us. He's actually the director of Signor Vino. Ciao, Luca.
Ciao.
So we're actually, thank you for hosting us yesterday. We were actually going to originally do the call yesterday, but I am very, very happy we didn't do that. Because I actually got to enjoy the race right from the balcony. They have like a fantastic view, and just by chance, I was able to record the arrival. I had no clue. I had no clue. Like I didn't know what was going on. So thank you so much. So now we can talk about that. So Luca, I know you are, of course, not just a wine lover. You're studying WSET. You're my classmate, so to speak, for the diploma program. So you know quite a bit about wine. And of course, are you from Verona originally?
Yes. I born in Verona. Yes.
So born and raised in 100% Veronese doc, right?
Yes. With a strong accent, actually. So from Verona.
Listen, Luca. So do you bike yourself? Like, do you go biking?
Yeah. Not as a professionist as well. But by the way, I want to thanks you for the invitation, but also Marc for this story. Was amazing listening you, Marc, before. By the way, yes, I love biking, but in Italy, especially in Verona, there is a very, very strong tradition about cycling. And we are a soccer country, but also a bike country. We love it. We are very, very in love with Giro d'Italia, with biking, and yes, I like doing that, but as a tourist, not as a sport way.
Yeah, as a hobby.
Yeah, as a hobby. Yes, so I have all the family. I'm the kind of guy with 2 kids in the bike.
So you're a family man.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, Luca. So where do you go biking? Like, are there different trails, even for amateurs around Verona? What is your recommendation
Yes, there are many, because we are close to Lake of Garda, so it's fantastic to drive from Verona, to bike from Verona to the Lake of Garda, and then there is Valpolicella, so there are amazing landscapes, also Soave as well, and then there are some very, very difficult also street, with the biking, like Perifosse, for example.
What was that? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
It's Perifosse.
Where is that?
Close. Is almost in the middle of the lake. Okay, close to Torri del Benaco. And then is a very, very difficult bike.
It's a bike trail.
Yeah, bike trail, and but there are so many. So, but also for not so difficult, having the lake close, it's amazing, because you can bike also close to the lake.
Okay, great. Listen, Luca, how long has Signor Vino been open?
Signor Vino is open we opened Signor Vino, the first one, in 2012.
And was that the one in Verona? Was that your?
Oh no, it was not the first. It was the fourth, and we opened Verona the fourth. We opened first in Milano, because we have several in Verona. We have 4 Signor Vino, and we open mock stores in the south of Verona, in Vallese. We opened the 4th in Verona, and yes, we enjoy Giro d'Italia for many years. So also we get another Giro d'Italia in the past years, and enjoying from our Signor Vino.
But let me ask you a question about your clients, because because the one in Verona, it's I think some of you have seen the pics that I put on my Insta yesterday. It's right in the heart of the center of Verona, right? So do you have mostly tourists, or also like local people?
So you know that we have more than 20 in Italy of Signor Vino, and we have very, very amazing location like this. So we are in Ponte Vecchio in Florence, in Duomo in Milano. Here in Verona, we are near the city center, close to Arena. And the point is to get wine and the wine shop close to people, close where traffic is, no? So it's not about thinking where there is the most tourist location, but it's where there is the most people that they can see wine. Sometimes in the past, wine took very, very hidden locations. So we want to bring wine, in the most beautiful places, in the most beautiful plaza, in piazza, in Verona, in the most iconic situation. And so in Verona we did the same, and but with an offer that is for the local, not is interesting for the local. So at the end we have both. We have locals, we have a lot of Veronese people, okay, and then at the end we have a lot of Italians, tourists. That is important, and at the end also foreign tourists. But half and half, when I say, maybe in Verona also 70% locals and 30% tourists.
And what is the most popular wine that you say? I'm sorry?
Yes, in Verona, Valpolicella, Amarone, Ripasso, Valpolicella Classico. These are the most, the most asked wine in our location. So in Italy, we have so strong denomination, and also people, local people drink very, very locally. So for sure, Valpolicella, and also maybe the Lugana for the white, and Soave always for the white, are the most asked wines. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Luca. I'm going to go back to Marc now. Marc, have you rested a bit?
Yeah, I have. I'm really interested to listen to Luca. I wish I was sitting in Signor Vino with you both enjoying a glass of wine, but of course I hope to be coming to Verona.
Yeah, what's going on? I think we're kind of getting better in Italy. Are you able to travel now?
Well, it's very unclear. The government here is sending mixed messages. Italy is still on what's called the amber list rather than the green list. And at present, we're not supposed to be traveling to amber countries. But I'm really hoping that in the next few weeks that will change. But, and everything is so fluid. It could be that Italy doesn't want people from the UK coming because of whatever. It's a very disturbing and uncertain moment for the whole world. And, I'm just hoping, for everybody's sake, this is going to pass, and we will. And I'm hoping to be able to be in Verona in June. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, we can. You're already famous now in the community, so you have to come. I was kind of thinking that, I don't know, Lan, I was going to bring Lan up, but he hasn't, I don't know if he's available. I was thinking about actually for next year, for this year's too late, but next year to incorporate some of your, actually episodes into the program, incorporated as we do have that small section of food and wine pairing section in the program. But I think it's really fabulous that you bring in the history and the culture and connect it to the wine and food. And I think that's, I'm going to think about that. I'll talk to Lan and also, of course, Professore Scienza about your episodes. I see some hands. Oh, here's Laika. Laika wants to come up. Hey, Laika, did you have a question?
Yes, I've got a question. I actually have a question for Marc. Since I've also been listening to your Giro D'Italia tapas on the Italian Wine podcast and here on Clubhouse, I wanted to ask, what inspired you to write about the Giro D'Italia, and how many years have you been following the game?
Well, I'm a crazy cyclist. I love cycling myself, and I love cycling in Italy. So I've come to Italy many times to cycle, and I like nothing more than cycling in Italy. So the Giro d'Italia is a very special moment every year. And usually I'm working in Italy in May, and the Giro d'Italia goes all over the country. No matter where you may find yourself, there's likely to be somewhere that the route is passing through. And actually, I think it's wonderful that Signor Vino are involved with the Giro d'Italia and Luca here hosting us today, because Signor Vino has this really demonstration of how every place that the Giro is visiting is linked to wine. And that's what seems an obvious connection to me. I love cycling, I love Italian wines, and it just seems an obvious fit to write about it. It's an opportunity to remember places that I know, remember places that I love, remember wines that I've enjoyed over the years, and connect them. And the route changes every year. This year it's actually quite unusual. It hasn't gone to Sicily. It's just touched into Puglia. It hasn't gone to Calabria or Basilicata or Sardinia or Liguria. So in other years, there would be other places and other wines to try and enjoy, and other histories and stories to tell. And I think that's what's so exciting about the Giro. The cycling, yes, I love the cycling. Today was an amazing stage. But it's all of these connections that come together.
Okay, let me just quickly reset the room. We're talking about Giro d'Italia with Marc Millon and Luca Pizzigella today. So if anyone would like to, raise their hand, come up and talk about their wines and the tappa from Verona. Where did they go today? I haven't a clue. As you can see, it's Greek to me, Giro d'Italia.
Today was really, really exciting. Today, the Giro left Veneto and went into the high mountains of Friuli, Venezia Giulia. So it went up the Monte Zoncolan in the Carnic Alps, very high. There was snow on the road as the cyclists made their way, mist and snow, and it looked awful up there. The road was rearing up at 27%, which is, it would be a struggle to walk up a road that steep. And yet these guys were cycling up it, not effortlessly. You could see how much it hurt, but it was an amazing stage to see. And as I said in my report, I've been up there in the summer when the views have been fantastic and the mountain cheese is so wonderful from this milk from cows that graze on the unpolluted grasses of the high mountains. So it was a special stage. I was so looking forward to it, and it didn't disappoint. It was very, very exciting.
That's great. You're getting me all hungry. I would even eat some of that grass, and I'm not even vegan. Luca, listen, what is the Giro d'Italia? First of all, it comes to Verona every year. Does it come to Verona every year?
No, not always, but we have some iconic Giro d'Italia that finish in Verona in the years. So it was in 2019. We have Verona, but also the most iconic was in 84 when Moser, that is a wine producer now of Trento Doc.
Yes, absolutely.
He won the Giro d'Italia, and
we should have invited him.
Yes. It's probably a good guest, and then also in 2010 when Ivan Basso, another great champion of Italian champion, won Giro d'Italia, and always in Verona. So now Verona with bike is famous. Also there are also very, very famous cyclists. Also Viviani, that is biking now. Viviani, that unfortunately didn't won so many times this year, but for example, he will bring the flag, in the Olympics.
So there's a tradition of cycling in Verona.
Yes.
But what does Giro d'Italia mean for the country, in your opinion? You as an Italian.
It's an appointment, but it's a very, very strong. We have a very strong culture with bike here in Italy. Yes, it's about soccer, but bike is something that we love, we follow, and everyone at the end try to, as a bike, as a sportive bike, I want to say, at home, and it's sometimes as a driver with car it's difficult because there are plenty of bikers in our streets. So it's something that we feel very, very strong. So we are in love with Giro d'Italia, and for us, Giro d'Italia, for example, is the most important one. We know that for the world, also the Tour of France is very important, but we really love with our Giro d'Italia. So.
You know what was amazing? I was just hanging out in your balcony, and everything. There's so much organization, like clockwork. As soon as so there was the setup just in front of Signor Vino. I guess they were like journalists or family members or coaches or whatever of the riders, right? And as soon as they finished, they completely cleaned up everything, like completely undid everything that they had set up, like in matter of seconds. And I think also Margherita was with me. Well, she was out on the streets. I was on the balcony. Margherita, she's actually a serious biker. I know she went for a ride yesterday because I think she got motivated. What was your experience like, Margherita?
Well, Stevie, you mean yesterday?
Yesterday, yes, yesterday.
Well, I mean, it was amazing. I was very excited as we were going there, because of course, the city starts to close down, the streets start to close down, and it gets really, really exciting. And then when me and Kun, my colleague, he was taking videos, decided to just stop and wait for I think we waited 30 minutes for the bikers to arrive. I could just, I don't know, my emotions were, I couldn't control them anymore. I was actually almost crying, but I stopped myself because I know then Stevie would have made fun of myself. So,
oh, come on.
Yes. So, but it was amazing. I was so inspired that then we got back at the office, and I was kind of sad because I was like, oh my God, these guys are amazing. And so I decided to take my bike and just do a 30 kilometers ride through Valpolicella and then go back to Verona at 9. And it was really, really amazing. It really inspired me.
So, Margherita, myself, and the podcast team, we went up to above Trentino. Marc, you should try this out with Margherita if you're fit. So we went for we had a day trip to San Leonardo, which is a winery, very important winery in the Trentino area. By the way, actually we dropped the interview today for the podcast with Scienza and the Marchese. And the whole point was of course we drove to this winery, and Margherita took her bike. So she's a fanatic, Marc. I mean, I think she can give you a run for your money. Anyways, tell Marc about the route you took from Verona to get to this place in Trento.
Well, I woke up at 4:30 at 4, and I decided to take a shower and get all my
I don't need
ready.
that kind of stuff. I mean,
no, come on, Stevie, but it's because you don't bike. People who bike know the process
thanks.
is such as important. I love preparing all my snacks and all my how is it called, the stuff you drink, integratori. Stevie, you can translate that for me, please.
I have no idea what that is. I guess sports drink?
Electrolytes. Sorry, I did it myself. Electrolytes.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then I decided to start. It was a 60 kilometers ride, but it was very hilly, right? It was a climb. I climbed 1,200 meters,
1,200 meters elevation. So it was smooth. It was very smooth. Like, it was not hard, actually. I loved it. And the part that I loved the most is when I arrived, this Marchese, like very noble person, just sees me and he's like, where are you going? Because I was very sweaty and very...
Okay, we don't need that. That's too much information. Thank
But
you.
anyways, and then I was just ready to work, I was just ready to go. And I don't know. Biking is, I don't think it was like such as you describe it, like something too hard. It was just the perfect thing before a whole day work.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that with us, Margherita.
No problem.
Margherita is also our producer for Italian Wine Podcast. So just for that introduction there. So Lan, ciao Lan.
Hi Stevie.
Where are you?
Ciao Marc. Ciao Luca. Hi. How are you? I'm good.
Good.
Where? Italia, but it's very exciting.
Where are you?
I'm in Piemonte right now.
Would you like to contribute to our discussion about another love story in Verona, Giro D'Italia?
Yeah, I actually want to ask some suggestions from Marc. I'm following all the commentary of Marc, sort of pairing the wine along the way doing the Giro D'Italia. But this gave me sort of inspiration because wine study is so traditional. You read the book, you taste the wine from time to time, you visit a winery, but it's not live experience. So I was thinking if we can bike then around Italy, then study about Italian wine, what would be the stages that you recommend for us to take?
Wow, that's going to be a long bike trip, isn't it, Mom?
He always like challenges, Welcome to my life, Marc. This is what I deal with every day. These type of questions.
I love that question because this is the story of the Giro d'Italia and of linking it with wine, because wine is produced in every one of Italy's 20 regions, important wines, good wines. And the Giro would be in different years at some point visiting every region and discovering those wines. So really, you would have to have a very, very long trip. And for me, I once cycled from my home in Devon, which is southwest England, to Venice, and I crossed the Alps and cycled into Piemonte. I came down. I went through I went over the Monte Cenisio, and then down into Piemonte. But I think I would begin my biking and wine tour high up in Valle d'Aosta, and I would like to stop there first and sample some of those amazing ethereal light mountain wines from the Pré Blanc, and then begin. And then, of course, I would have climbed up that mountain. It would be downhill all the way down the Dorobaltea Valley, coming down, winding my way into northern Piedmont to sample some of those wines. And so, you would have to really look at a map and think about it. Think about how you're going to, do you stay on the Tyrrhenian side, perhaps cross over into Liguria and maybe visit the Cinque Terre, and then down into the seaboard of Tuscany and Bolgheri and the vineyards of Pisa, and then down to the Maremma. Or possibly you might want to have some flat riding along the Via Emilia through the Oltrepo Pavese and the Colli Piacentini, and then maybe stop up in the Langherano Hills, just because I love prosciutto di Parma and the salumi of Emilia-Romagna and the fizzy, dry wines that are so loved there, which go so well with the meats. And then perhaps into the hills of Romagna and down to the Adriatic coast. And of course, I've missed out all of Veneto if I go that way. So I really would want to stop in Verona, because I love Verona.
Yeah, of course. That's how can you even think about not stopping?
I cannot think about not stopping in Verona. There, it's not only one of my favorite cities, but it also is such a source of so many wonderful wines. I would have probably cycled through Custoza and had a glass of Bianco di Custoza first, and then gone up the lake. I lived one summer in the wine hills above Bardolino, and I'm very fond of Bardolino and its wine.
You lived in Verona? You lived in Bardolino?
In the wine hills of Bardolino.
What were you doing in Bardolino?
We were writing a book.
Aha!
Our book, The Wine Roads of Italy. And so we spent the summer there. My son was 1 year old. I won't tell you how old he is now because it's quite a long time ago. But I have such fond memories. And in those days when I biked, I had a heavy bicycle with a trailer behind it. And my 1 year old son would be in the trailer, and it's quite hilly around there. And heavier than my son was my wife Kim's cameras, because she's the photographer for our book. So she would load all of her cameras and everything into this trailer behind my bike, and we would visit wineries. So I loved Margherita's story, because that's the sort of thing that I would really admire, that you do that you would take however many hours it took to cycle over those beautiful hills all the way up from Verona up to Trento just to visit a wine producer, when you could have easily have got there in other ways, but not in such beautiful way. So I love that. And I could go on and on traveling down the Adriatic through Le Marche into Abruzzo and Molise. But that's the beauty of what we've been doing with this Giro d'Italia, linking it to wines, because we've been to many of those places over these days, and we still have some more to come.
Great, Marc, that's fantastic. Let me just quickly...
And,
go ahead, Luca.
I can add one thing, that Lani, if you are tired, then you can sit down in Signor Vino, and then we can bring at the table all the Italy wines, because we have plenty of that. And so
don't make any suggestions, Luca, because he will take up on your offer. Okay.
Yes, I'll be there on Monday after work.
Yeah, you see, this is what happens. No, Luca, listen, while I have you, can you, I see, you see some of the people in the audience. Oh, ciao, Matthew. I haven't seen you in a while. Some of the people in the audience, are from our community, like Paul, they're coming. Aaron, I believe he's coming as well. And hopefully Marc. Can you recommend some restaurants, your favorite restaurants in Verona, like must-go restaurants in Verona?
Okay. Okay, we take away Signor Vino because... Yes,
we must.
For sure, we must do. So yes, we have very, very traditional restaurants. So, for example, Pompiere, that is very, very...
What does... and that's one of my favorite too, Marc.
Yeah,
why is Al Pompiere one of your favorite? What kind of food do they serve?
Is a charcuterie and meat and pasta, but it's traditional. They're from Verona, place.
Marc, have you been to Al Pompiere?
No, I haven't, but I'm looking forward to it next time.
Yeah.
There's this man, his name is Natalino, which means like Little Christmas. He's been slicing ham for like literally 60 years, like all the charcuterie, like all the ham and the salami, and it's incredible. He had to lose weight actually because of health reasons. Okay, what are the other restaurants that would you recommend?
Yeah, we have the historical one that is Bottega del Vino. Yes,
I think everyone knows Bottega del Vino.
Knows about that.
Marc, have you been to Bottega del Vino?
Yes, too many times. I love it there. I love the risotto all'amarone with a glass of Amarone.
Yeah, usually we have a small gathering at Bottega del Vino. As you know, for the audience, Bottega del Vino was bought by the Famiglia dell'Amarone I guess they're called something else now, but basically 12 Amarone families. So the Bottega del Vino is now owned by the wine producers, and it's been that way. I don't know. When did that happen, Luca? Like,
I think
6-7 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, 6-7 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a small place, and we used to actually do a tasting there as part of the Vinitaly International Academy program. But because the space is too small, I don't know exactly how to do that this year. But we'll see.
We'll see. And yes, there are other many. For sure, we have a very, very important chef here, Giancarlo Perbellini, that has a very beautiful restaurants here.
Right, that's kind of the top Michelin restaurant, right, in Verona.
Yes. And then there are others. I think that they're doing very well with wines, like Caffè Dante, for example, or Alcova del Frate, that is close to Ponte Pietra. They are doing very well with the offers of wine. And then there are also some very more fashion place, like Yard is a new one. Most fashion, so there are so many.
Like it's a trendy kind of place, Yard.
Trendy kind of place, yes.
But
yes.
is that a chain restaurant? The Yard?
No. It's a local one, but yes, it's more fashion, and they are increasing also the wine list. So they are working on that. So it's quite good. So. There are, but yes, for sure, the more traditional one are, in my opinion, this one, Bottega del Vino and Pompiere. These are very, very strong with tradition. We have the risotto alla marrone, risotto al tastasal, risotto al radicchio. We are very strong in Verona with the risotto, no?
But what kind of food do you serve in Signor Vino?
In Signor Vino, yes, we have.
I mean, it's more casual, right? It's mostly,
yes.
About. It's like you called it like cantina con cucina or something,
yes,
right?
Yes. Because our goal is to focus on wine. So wine is our focus. So first of all, our goal is to don't charge the service, no, for the wine. So you could bring from the chefs the wine and at the same price to drink at the table. So this price is important, is the main thing, because you can drink without think too much about the price or the most important bottle.
I think you guys were kind of the first to do that, because usually, right? Yeah. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. As a chain for sure.
Right.
And it's a kind of a simple thing, no? But at the end, we want to bring quality. We want to bring the best brands, also to the most, the most public, the most people that we can. And so, if you come from us in our restaurants, first of all, you have to think that you can be very, very courageous. No, you can open bottle, you can taste.
Yeah,
and this is very important. We have a big offer by the glass, and then we have Italian food, and we try to embrace all the Italian offer. So not only the Verona. Also, we are from Verona, but at the end we have stores in Torino, in Milano, in Rome. Actually, I'm calling from Rome in this moment. I'm in Signor Vino in Rome in this moment. So I silence all the guy because I have to.
It's a new opening, right? It's a new shop.
It's a new opening. Yes, it's a new opening in.
Congratulations.
In Piazza Barberini. So we want to embrace the Italian food, because Italians are everywhere in the world, and we are appreciated for sure. But at the end, as entrepreneur, we are not. There are not so much. Big entrepreneur in food, in chain food, especially abroad. So our goal is to bring the food, the Italian food, and Italian wine, not only in Italy, but to bring in this casual new things, new way, also in the foreign country.
Well, yeah. Well, you have Land, who can bring it to China. You have Leica, who can bring to the Philippines. And Paul stateside, and Marc to UK. You have your chain right here.
Fantastic.
All right, listen, let's go. We just have a few more minutes, so I'm going to welcome Paul and Mansour. Let's see if Paul has a question or he'd like to say something.
I have a question. Thank you. Firstly, I want to say I'm so impressed that you rode your bike through the Alps, Marc. That's and Margay riding to San Leonardo. My question is going to make me look very wimpy here after hearing that, but
no, you have some serious competition from me.
Well, let me say this. I probably ride a bike, 90 minutes 3 times a week, but it's very flat where I live. But the idea of riding a bicycle in Italy really kind of scares me a little bit in the respect I lived in Castellina and Chianti, and that was just too hilly. In Rome, it was just too chaotic. So I would be more inclined to take like a bike trail that doesn't, that's dedicated for cyclists. So my question is, do you have are there such things in Verona? I know they are in Rome. Is there one you recommend? And then the second question that I have is, are electric bikes popular in Italy now? They're very popular here in California. And in fact, those ride-sharing apps now have the ability to rent one on the street. So lazy people are bicycling now everywhere here. So I just wanted to know if that's caught on yet in Italy.
Who would like to take that question? Luca, did you want to answer?
But yes, I start from the finish. So electric bike are almost everywhere now in Italy, and yes, they are very for lazy people, but it's not about that. They are very common, and also it's very important also for climate. We have a lot. All our cities are very, very cold. It's not difficult. Traffic in Italy is not easy. Also because we have these old cities. So think about Rome. The traffic is a big problem. So we need alternative transportation, and for sure, not only for sport but also for work, for transportation, different way of thinking. So electric is an important trend, and we are investing now. So also not only private but also public are investing, and they are thinking about this future. So this is a big trend also in Italy. And you can rent, you can also, especially also in the mountain, if you go in Trentino Alto Adige, you can rent a bike, and yes, it's very easy. So maybe with an electric one, you can do also Zoncolan, the Giro d'Italia today, maybe, because it's very, very hard. But yes, it's a good point. And yes, we are working on creating a bike street. I don't say pista ciclabile. I don't know a way to say, but we are not. We develop not so much in Italy, so we have to work more on this.
Okay, so I guess the answer is yes. There are electric bikes. Actually, Lan rides a bike every day. He uses he's a big economy sharing kind of dude. Lan, what is the electric bike situation in Verona?
And the service is called Verona bike. I think like 50% of all the bikes are now substitute with electric bikes. Then it's super cheap. You pay some 30 cents for first half an hour, and then the cost increase a little bit after the first half an hour. But it's very convenient. I think they have somewhere 30 stations all over Verona, so you can basically go anywhere you want with the bikes. And I've been with the Verona bike for 5 years. I think they started the transformation from last year. In the middle of the COVID spreading, and it's certainly fantastic because it's so convenient and so cheap.
Are you riding the electric bikes now?
Not now, but when I'm in Verona, I ride the bikes and as much as I can because I have the subscription, so it's free for me if I don't use the electric bikes. But I love the electric bikes. I think that's the future of the bike sharing thing, right?
Great. Listen, okay, I'm going to welcome Mansour. Mansour, I think you're going to be our last speaker, unless some of the other panelists have a question. First of all, Mansour, where are you from?
I'm from Turkey, from Istanbul.
Oh, welcome, Mansour.
Thank you. Hi, everybody from very east part of Europe. And I would like to add some suggestion for Verona food and wine, let's say, adventure.
Fantastic.
As I'm not young enough to bike around Italy, but I've been several times in Italy. You can consider me the half Italian as well. And Verona is one of the favorite regions that I've been several times, mostly for last 2 decades. Starting from 2010, also I followed the famous Verona Opera Festival, which is held only once in a year during June-July period, and which is one of the biggest
Are you coming this year? It's going to be on the 19th of June. I say that because we are running Opera Wine, which is the tasting event that we organize with Wine Spectator. It's going to be on the 19th of June. And then in the evening, there's the inauguration of L'Arena.
I'm very much aware of the situation, but unfortunately, because of the COVID restrictions, which my poor and stupid country, which is Turkey, has not...
I think there are tons of them, so don't worry.
I hope nobody registering this. But anyway, they don't have enough, let's say, success to vaccinate the people. So Europe still doesn't open, let's say, borders for Turkish citizens. That's why I would have difficulties to visit Europe for next maybe couple of months, or maybe in a year. But let me share my experience for the last couple of years while I was there, strolling around Verona. Somebody already mentioned some of the very famous restaurants of the Bugiardo, Osteria del Bugiardo. I don't know if it is mentioned.
Yeah, that's actually run by also another wine producer, Mariano Buglioni. Yeah.
Exactly. And Antico Bottega del Vino, which is one of my favorites. So
right. Luca had mentioned that already. Also owned by 12 wine producers.
Yep, that's right. And Enoteca del Zovo, one of my favorites as well. And I would like to add some small restaurants, not started by Michelin or, let's say, TripAdvisor full-star recommendation, but these are mostly small family business restaurants.
Okay, let's hear them.
One of them is Greppia. I don't know if some of the speakers know that.
Sure.
It's very close to the house of the Giulietta.
Right. It's right close to also Al Pompiere.
Yes, exactly. Pompiere is one of my favorites as well. It's mentioned, so I don't want to add same. But Greppia is very famous because every time I pass through Verona, I would like to stop there for their special bollito, which is a very huge pot full of interiors of different animals like heads, brains, and let's say the tongue and everything. And
yes.
They have also...
Not for vegans. Yes.
Yes, not for vegans, I know. So this is one of my favorite in Verona. I would like to.
You bring up a good point. Actually, the dish. I think Luke can say something. The bollito con pera.
Yeah,
that's a Veronese dish, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It is Veronese, or maybe you can say also Venetian. So not only Verona, but surrounding cities could have the similar dishes. It's also fegato, one of the very famous Venetian plates.
Yeah, I think fegato is Venetian, but I think bollito con pera. I think it's it's Veronese.
It is. Exactly, it is. And they have also one of my favorite dishes from Verona is risotto alla marrone.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's favorite, it seems, especially with the tourists.
Yes, exactly. And gnocchi they do very well. And by another option, I had several options to, let's say, to eat. meat of horses and mules and donkeys.
Yeah, I can't eat domestic pets, so.
Yes. But the Osteria Al Duca does another small family business, family running osteria as a small restaurant, just close to nearby, just the next door of the house of Romeo, Casa de Romeo.
You know, Mansour, you know what you should do? You should send us your list and tag us, Italian Wine Podcast.
Stevie,
Oh, yeah. Why not?
I want to just say that Peara, if you say Peara to a Veronese people, you know, it's okay, we fall in love with you. Peara is probably the most local things and food for us. And it's very important for us. And Peara means peppered in Veronese dialect.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a creamy sauce.
Yeah. Marc, have you tried Peara?
I have tried Peara and learned a little bit about its history at the Dodici Apostoli, which again is a favorite restaurant, and they're very keen on explaining the history and the importance of it to the Veronese in this incredible place where if you go down into the cellar, there are actually the remains of Roman ruins that have been discovered beneath the building.
Oh my God, Marc, you definitely know so much more about Verona than I do. I mean, granted, it doesn't take much, but seriously, I think we need to have you as a food and history consultant for VIA. But first, you have to pass the exam.
I'm worried about that exam.
Don't worry, Marc. Lan will help you.
I'm counting.
my best.
Okay. All right. Listen, you guys, we ran a little bit over. I'm going to close up the room. Let's have Luca and Marc say the last words. Luca, would you like to say something before we close?
I want to thank you, everyone. And it's very important to speak about Verona, about Giro d'Italia, about Italian wine, Italian food. Yes, of course, also Signor Vino with people from other parts of the world. So thank you very much for the invitation, and I very want to know personally Marc and the other guys because
you'll definitely meet him because he's coming because you're also hosting us one evening. Maybe you don't know that yet, but
fantastic.
There you go.
Because you invite me as a Jew now, so you have to study.
Yes. Luca is also a judge at 5 Star Wines, so it's his first experience. So aiuto. Aiuto. Marc, would you like to say something before we close?
Well, I would just like to say thanks so much for having me here today, for following my take on the Giro d'Italia.
Oh my God, listen, I'm not spiritual, but I believe in karma, and there was some serendipity thing going on 2 weeks ago. So thank you so much for that. We love it. And you're part of our family already.
Well, I feel that, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. I'm looking forward to meeting Luca and to having a glass of wine together in Signor Vino, and just to being part of this wonderful community. So thank you, and see you soon, I hope.
Yes, and you guys, check Marc's report, every daily report. It's called the Giro d'Italia. It's a playlist on Italian Wine Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Arrivederci. You guys made me hungry. Thank you, Marghe, Laika, Lan, Paul, Mansour, Luca, and Marc. Arrivederci. Ciao, Erin. Slavic.
Here we go.
Ciao,
Swirl, sniff, sip, sniff. While you drink, don't forget these tasting tips. Swirl, sniff.